Hey, what's up, guys? John here. What's unfolding right now in the U.S. economy is going to change the lives of hundreds of millions of Americans, and I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to capitalize on it and what many smart, wealthy, and savvy investors are doing as well. Look at this home behind me with that nice Mercedes in the background. All these homes, very nice, quaint, suburban homes in these communities. And these properties are $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Now, when we're hearing about tariffs and trade wars and hearing about prices going up and Gen Z unemployment rising by 30%.
Unemployment is likely to go up as the economy slows in all likelihood, and inflation is likely to go up as tariffs find their way, and some part of those tariffs.
And this big structural shift unfolding around affordability, we got to think about what this is going to mean for the American people that are already tapped out. What we're going to see is a major shift in how people live, where they live, what they eat, their overall lifestyle. Like, for example, this property right here, we just acquired this property yesterday for the price of a car. And it's going to rent for about $1,500 a month. Now, I moved to Ohio in November, and November, December, January is like a blizzard. It's snowing. There's very little people moving. However, the last 3 months, as of next Friday, we'll have closed on 31 single-family homes. I presently control 18% of all of the billboard space inside of the entire city of Cleveland, saying that we buy homes cash and close fast. We're out here making moves because affordability, that is what everyone's gonna need the next couple of years, the next 4 or 5 years. And when you can live like this, look at this, you hear the birds chirping. When you could live like that and buy this home, this is the one we just bought. That's a nice house. That is a nice house. The owner, the former owner, they were thinking about remodeling it. I'll walk in here, I'll show it to you. They were thinking about remodeling it, but he had a change of heart. And, older gentleman, about 80 years old, he said, you know what? I'm just gonna sell it. So he stepped in and bought this property. And we'll probably spend about 20 grand. I would say 20 grand fixing up the property. And at the end, this property will be a $1,500 a month rental. So we're gonna remove the blinds, obviously, everything from the floor. And this is the living room, dining room. It will look like a really clean house. 2 bedrooms downstairs. You have a master bedroom up, 1 bedroom, another bedroom, bathroom, and then opens out to a really nice patio. But we bought this place for the price of a car, right? So for the price of a car, we now have this property. And look at this. This is the view from the deck. So think about that. If you're a retiree, you're an American, and you got 100 grand, $200,000 in the bank. If you live in most cities in America and you're hearing about this trade war, that's frightening. Because the idea of prices going up 10%, 15, 20, 30%.
Tariffs will affect the prices we pay on everything from shoes to toys.
Analysts say Americans could see higher prices on some goods in a week to 10 days.
Or just inflation getting worse, the job market going down, that's traumatic for most people. But if you got 150, 200, 300 grand and you live in a house that you bought for 70, 60 grand, 80 grand, and you have 2 or 3 or 4 other rentals all paid off, and they're all making you, call it $1,100 a month in net income after insurance and taxes and everything, you're okay, right? It's not phasing you. And there's only a couple markets in America right now where that story is, still there. Like, there's that option is really there. Look at this though. Like, any other neighborhood, you would expect to spend $400,000 or $500,000. Now, what I'm betting on is that we are going to see dependence from the American people to the government grow dramatically. Remember Elon Musk 2 years ago? He said that what Americans need is a universal high income. I've never heard that term. I've heard universal basic income like everybody else, but never a universal high income. Now he said that. Now, right now, he's saying, look, we need to defund and get rid of certain branches of government. We need to get rid of, thousands and hundreds of thousands of jobs in the government.
Layoffs announced by U.S. employers in March surged to their highest level since the pandemic, largely due to a purge in federal workers by Elon Musk's Doge.
We need to do this because it's, put the power back in the hands of the American people. And, it might sound good, but just 2 years ago, he was saying that we need a universal high income. My bet is when you look at unemployment, you look at the cost of the world, you look at real wages softening, the dependence from the American people on the U.S. government will grow. And when you have Pretium Partners, the largest homeowner in America, they own 97,000 houses. They just launched a real estate fund dedicated directly to Section 8 to buy 2,500 houses only for housing voucher participants. To me, that signals that Section 8 is not going anywhere, and the American people are going to ask the government for assistance. So the worse the world gets, the more control the government has, the less optionality and less control the American people have. And so they're going to be getting financial assistance and government subsidies, Section 8 subsidies from the federal government. That's what's going to happen. And so when you can buy these homes for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, damn right, I'm gonna do everything we can do to grab as many of these properties as possible, because you're gonna have tens of millions of retirees looking for affordability. You're gonna have a lot of investors sitting in a lot of cash looking for a place to invest. You are gonna have the cost of building materials continue to skyrocket, meaning if a house like this costs 150 bucks a foot to build, and it's 1,000 square feet, and it's 150 grand just to build the structure, plus the cost of the land. If you can buy that for 75 grand, you're getting a 50% discount to replacement value, factoring in zero value for the land. So if the building materials goes up 10%, 20%, 30%, what does that mean for the value of that pre-existing home? It goes up, right? It goes up. That's what that means. And so when you're looking around at all these homes, you see what I see. It's a gold mine, absolute gold mine. And what we're doing, and we're advising our investors to do, is we buy these properties. If the roof has less than 5 years left on it, we put the new roof on immediately with new windows. We get rid of any big expense today, so that way we have that 30-year warranty on labor and materials, and we basically alleviate any type of upfront cost that could come a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. And then we do a very diligent job on the actual tenant placement. You drive through Cleveland, you will see the billboards. You drive through the west side, the east side, you go through Euclid, you go through downtown, and they're everywhere. And we're going to expand. Right now, I'm top 5 advertised inside the city of Cleveland. And we just moved here not even 5 months ago. And we just really, in my opinion, started kind of getting things going like January, because, come in November, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got Christmas Eve and New Year's. I would call November and December like half months almost. Everyone's traveling. We started really hitting it in January. My office, I think I showed it inside of this video, or inside of this channel maybe 2 months ago in a video saying, it was an ugly building, we're gonna fix it up. It'll be completed, fully done next week. We're gonna hold events there, and it's gonna be really awesome. We're gonna have a full-fledged recording studio. The property management arm of the business is gonna be there. We're gonna have an acquisition team, about 6 to 7 specialists downstairs, and we're gonna be scaling up. The goal is to do 2 deals a day and get great deals in certain pockets of the city, and systematize and automate as much of the business as possible. It's gonna be unlike anything that's ever been done in real estate. Like what we're gonna be doing with automations, it's gonna be incredible. Look at this house over here. Look at these homes. Tell me how a house like this is $80,000. Look at that. I would live there. I would live there. Like if I was making $40,000 a year, to be able to go there, you could get a mortgage, 20% down, and your mortgage would be $600 a month, like $600 a month. Or this house. All these homes, it's incredible. People think, oh, if you buy a house for 60 grand or 80 grand or 100 grand, it's the hood. Show me people drinking outside. Show me the abandoned cars. Show me people smoking cigarettes. Show me the bars and the windows. They're not here. All I see is birds chirping and money on the ground. That's it. This is an incredible neighborhood, incredible opportunity. This isn't the only market though. Like, there's a couple left in America. I have a feeling we're gonna blink and there'll be none left in America. You know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there's so many markets that were affordable. So many markets where you could just go and say, hey, I'm gonna buy a house for 80 grand, 100 grand. Camden, New Jersey, for example. You should look up Camden, New Jersey. If you look it up, just type in Camden, New Jersey, then hit Google Images. It looks like something from a different world, like a movie, right? Those homes 6 years ago were $20,000, $30,000. I mean, my dad grew up in Camden. Like, Camden's not an area you want to, you know, hang out in for the most part. And now homes are 300,000, 250, 300, 350 in Camden. Like, I think they had I think it was like the highest crime rate in the country of, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. And it's a small little city. Like, it's real small, right over to the other side of the Ben Franklin Bridge, dividing New Jersey from Philly. 300 grand, you know? It traded like a crypto coin, going from 20 to 300, 250. Why? Affordability, accessibility. That's what's gonna happen to the remaining affordable pockets in America. And this inflationary tariff crisis and everything else that's happening, I personally believe it's going to spark more and more and more demand from people that are working remote. You got 35% of the US workforce working remote. Retirees, investors looking for a return on their capital, people relocating outside of expensive cities because they no longer need to be there because they don't go to the office anymore. It's just gonna be this big push towards affordability. So that's what I'm betting on. And I'm gonna change a lot on this channel of showing what we're doing and how we're gonna scale up to 350 houses by the end of this year. What our team's gonna look like. Like, it's pretty incredible to look at how fast the team's growing. We now have north of 20 guys on our construction crew. And you think about it, they have wives, they have kids. We probably are feeding 40 to 50 people every single day on our current work. And by the end of the year, that number is gonna probably be closer to 150 people off of these projects. So, like, we're doing a lot of great things for the people we're working with and for our investors, and having a blast doing it. So if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing, have 100K or more, thinking about investing, you can click the link in the description just below this video, and I'll catch you next video.